Jacob, back to you. Weekend.
I went to the cross on Friday. And then my brother's training. Sunday I went back to the cross.
Or Evan. You went to what? Gym. Maddie. Sleepover. Oh yeah, when are you getting that? When are you getting the puppy? So 2 weeks? Hey, Ava. Nothing? Anything, Ava? Whose birthday? Another Isabel? Ashton. Very nice. Elijah.
Friday I went up to my camp for a night for boys' weekend. For boys' night. Saturday we went to a brush pile and looked at our lawn, and then yesterday I just relaxed a little bit. A little bit of yard work.
Mr. Elliott. Soda. And that's about it. Yeah.
I had a sleepover.
Your birthday?
No.
Friends?
Yeah.
Friends. Olivia. You buy anything or go on any of the rides or you just walked around?
Well, I went on one ride. And then I bought
Very, very exciting. Van Gorkum. Your turn.
I slept because I wanted to get A was awesome.
That's amazing. Abby. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, did they win? Wait, you were at the game, but you don't know if they won. Riley, I can hear you talking. Alex, something you did, go.
Oh, I went to Oregon. Well, there was fireworks, and I was sitting at the top of it, and I stayed at a hotel, and I got home my dad, and I took a nap in the car because it took 4 hours. So, really awesome.
Selena. Levi. That sounds exciting. Mason. Bailey. You have an exciting life. Richard. You what? Very nice. Riley. What?
I just watched the draft.
Watch the draft. Landon. Carson Park, what'd you do there? Huh? Just played. Very good. Thea. And what'd you do?
Yes.
Out of? 4, 5, 6.
12.
Okay. Josie. Very nice. Bella.
On Friday night, I went to play tacos, and on Saturday, I went to the play tacos again with my friend and my brother ordered stuff. Then yesterday, we did
Mason.
I watched the Christ.
City. Kylie.
I went to my grandma and grandpa's house because my mom went to Mall of America, and
She left you home.
yes.
Shame on her.
Well, I had to run a lot because my grandma and grandpa's house is down. So then I helped my baby cousin, and then I binge watched YouTube and made some slime.
Very nice. Logan.
I had a friend over. Then my mom started making babies for when we lost
Oh, very good. Boy or girl?
And then we had her kids over because I was doing that for the last
Very nice. So you guys had a good weekend. All right, here you go. 2 questions. First one, you just have to evaluate or solve. Second one, I want you to write the equation and then try and solve it. Okay. Good luck. I actually have to solve the second one because I haven't solved that one yet.
Well, yeah. Here go my sisters. I don't think this.
You're the best, Josie.
I don't get it. 24 minus 5 times X. Okay, you need to put 24 minus 5 times 6. Okay, good. 24 minus
I'm really curious if anyone's going to be able to write the equation for the second one correct. And you may use a calculator.
Oh, that good. You will. T times.
You give up 3 more minutes. Let's go. Guys, are you ready to pick one up? Logan, pick one up. Put them in the corner behind Logan.
What about Mr. Cat?
Nice pattern. Everyone here should be able to do the first one, no problem. Second one.
Mr. Swift, The last problem. 508. What was the question? How fast was it? Okay, so S.
Not quite. Not making it times it by us. You haven't tried anything yet. Second one yet? I've not seen anyone with the second one yet. You've seen quite a few with the first one so far. One thing, that's 6 you have to have in there somewhere. You're missing one part. 6.
T equals. All you gotta do is go over with the streamer.
There you go. Alright,
I got
first one. Okay, so a lot of people with that one was really good. Alright, what is happening between the 5 and the x again? Hopefully you remember that is that could be like 53. There's an operation there. What's the operation, Elliot? Time. So this is really y equals 24 minus 5 times what? 3, because I tell you it's 3. So it's really 24 minus 15. 24 minus 15 is also known as what, Kylie? 9. Very good. Y equals 9. Okay. Second one. Quite a bit more challenging. You'll probably have one like this similar on the test. Again, just to remind you, the test will probably be early next week, maybe like a Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing. Somewhere around there. So I'll post the study guide either later today or tomorrow. We'll talk about. All right. So this one, talking about a plane ride, so on. Question is our equation going to equal S or is it going to equal T? T, right? Especially because this last 2 reasons why. It says depends on, so if it's the dependent, it always has an equal at.
And it says solve for
Secondly, it says solve for T. So it will be T equals. Okay. Anyone think they know what the rest of it is? What's T going to equal? How would you find T?
1840.
Okay. Well, we don't know it's 500 yet.
Well, okay. S divided by S. Then I think I got this.
Then what? They would be.
Yeah. Then plus
Okay.
60.
Now I
Minus 60.
saw a lot of people have the 1840 divided by S. Okay, but you grab the plus 6. That 6 hours is still going to be included in their time travel. Elliot and Emily, stop flirting and playing footsie under the table.
I just get to be off my side. They're not on your side.
Hey.
Yes, they are. They're not in your way. Anyway.
You too. Grow up, figure it out. Otherwise, you two can stay during lunch and practice sitting next to each other. Okay. Now, once you have the equation, now it's really easy to solve for because we're just plugging 1 in for S. 500. So really now we have 1840 divided by 500. That's why I said you could use a calculator. Plus 6. What is 1,840 divided by 500? Who's got it? Josie? 3.68, but we got plus 6. So that's how many hours? 9.68 hours is this plane ride going to take. You will have to do this on the test. If you don't get it, you're going to have to start practicing. Okay? So here we go today. We're going to practice one thing. Here's what I want. There are, let's have everyone, oh no, never mind, I take that away. We're going to just skip that right now. Here we go. Here's what you're doing today. Short, sweet, pretty basic. Did I not click on it? Maybe there we go. Must have not clicked on it. Here's what we have. You have 1, 2, 3, 5 problems today. That is it, actually. Now, can someone remind me what the order of operations are again? Because you will have to use that today in order to solve all these problems. So, order of operations, the first step would be to do what? Anything inside the parentheses. Very good. If you don't have any parentheses or you have that done already, the next step is to do what then? Bailey? Also known as exponents. Okay. Once you get rid of all the parentheses and exponents, then you have to do what? Multiplication, division from left to right, just like you read. And finally, Elisha, what's the last step in order of operations? None. Come on. We'll only practice this all year. Let's go. Last step in order of operations. Emily told you after multiplying and dividing, what's the last? And, from. Come on. You need to know this. Subtracting, adding from.
Say something.
From.
How do you read? What order?
There you go. Okay. So those are the steps you're going to have to use. Remember those when you're solving these. Okay, if not, maybe some of you need to look back in your notes. Right? So here's basically what they give you. All these are very similar. They give you an equation. Okay. And they'll give you some numbers. Okay, and this, the first one here, they give you 5, 11, and 23. And you just have to basically plug them into the equation and solve for the equations. That makes sense? Kind of what you did for problem of the day. So in this first one here, you're probably going to take 5, 11, and 23 and plug it in for, plug it in for what? N or P? N. Very good. Okay, because that will tell you the price. So that's all you literally have to do. Take the numbers, plug them into the equation, find the answer. That's all. That's what all this all is. That's it. Okay. There's just different operations. You start with addition, subtraction, some division, some multiplication. So basically it today. Plugging into an equation and solve it. Fairly simple, I would hope. Miss Emily. So what you did on Friday? Do you see how many I have here? Okay. A lot. So we'll get to them. I still have that in there yet. I can pass that back. Yeah, these aren't all yours though. These ones here are all 4th grade. Those are all yours. We'll get to them. 4th grade ones. We'll get to them here. Don't worry. If you, like I said, if you did well, I'll definitely be talking to you, asking you to try and finish it up. So if you don't hear from me, then that probably means you didn't maybe do quite as well. Which,
We didn't expect.
exactly, because it was 7th grade stuff. You guys are in 6th grade, so wouldn't expect it. Okay. So 5 questions. I think you should have no problem getting this done in a half hour. That's 6 minutes of problem.
What page?
And I'll even let you use a calculator to help you. Okay, oh, what page? Page 75. Sorry about that. Page 75. No. I have to solve these two, so let's go, Raven. Come on, Raven. Come on, Raven. Hurry up, get the book. Let's go, I gotta read.
Wait, I didn't have a
6.
Let's
Go, let's go. Come on. Take coffee and get Jay, you have to solve the equation. You have to find what T is. Why do you think you do those numbers? It's better at this math side. Should be halfway done. Yeah, which is what?
Right, if you're sitting right next to him. This is
What's wrong with you?
Oh,
All those numbers, like 40, 45, 55, and 65 are all one. What's wrong? What are they? Are they time or are they speed?
Speed.
It's the whole problem. So what are you gonna plug this in for? It's 6 and 6. 45, 55. Read it. Look, the whole thing. Because the whole problem is, you see it. Yeah.
Mr. Stitchen.
Well, if there's 6 sides, you got 6, yeah. Please and please
Okay.
Dude, what are all these numbers for? Which one of these letters is the number B? What all those numbers are for? N. What are all those numbers for? What operation is happening here? No. Times. Times. B. Now what I got. 350 times 8 minus 150 times 8 plus 9. Just solve the equation. 5, 11, and 25 share. Your last all of them Let's go. Let's go. You guys should be halfway by now. You probably should be on C or D. If not, you need to get going.
I'm on G. I'm on G, everybody. It's a joke. Why? I need to go 11.
Oh, that sounds better.
I'll work on you right now. From a E1. Alright. 4.25 times 6. I don't even know if I know right now. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Go on, Raymond. Okay, so what do we got? No. You didn't give me the equation, plug the number, solve the equation. So you want
What number is F? What is F? The number of clusters.
an hour? What do you have to
What
do?
is F equals? He said no. I don't think we got this one right.
You proved you guys right.
4.25 times 6.
That's not the whole equation. Look at it again. Have you asked someone for help? Why not? Yeah, help people at the table that understand this. Why didn't you ask them? What are that stuff?
Well, I need to my table.
You got it?
I got it. They should hold out negative numbers.
You're not gonna make it.
The first time I got a negative number, I looked at the equation and I didn't have one. What happens with the area?
It's something confused.
And they're saying that they didn't talking about concepts. They're saying they did it exactly how the concepts.
Tell them to make sure they have their work. Not that tricky. They can or we are. Okay, let's go. Talking. Gotta be done. Yes. This page has to be done. And you have 10 more minutes. 15. Mason, I'll help you when you ask. Okay? So until you ask for help, I'll let you sit here. So raise your hand. Start. Big difference. Yes, you actually have to put them. You're using the parentheses. Remember, you always use the parentheses first. If you don't want to solve it, you gotta get those questions. I'll get my hand. Yes. Hey, not funny, get going. You gotta get each. Whatever one you got for. Or do you just eat one? Yeah. Yeah, you're good there. Just a bit. I'll answer your question, yes. Actually, I want you to write that whole equation. Where's the equation? 350 times 8 minus 150 times 8 plus 5. Okay, so what's 350 times 8? Sure?
What's your name?
800. Okay, we're going 50 times 8. Are you doing 1,500? Also, we can always record it. You can't ask the
8 is in the middle of the end. You
You can use.
It's so unusual.
It says
Insert table.
What's the edge? Is the edge like a side or what?
We got her.
They get serious.
I told you that.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, 4.25.
Logan Jacob. You gonna be done in 5 minutes? Yeah? Get going. So, what did that be after 70? No, 30.
Yeah, she did too.
You can make it by hand. I don't care. It's half a 70. There you go. That's difficult. But they told you it was 70. Yeah. So you gotta go by 35. Minutes. Listen how far they went. Yeah. So you're not sure?
Do you make a graph or you gotta? All you have to do is make a graph.
That was the first time we solved that.
Why did you want on the
Multiplication is always
Oh crap. Decision time break.
and then divided by 55. And then divided by 6.
All you gotta do is pass the
I never assigned this to last week.
I just did that. I swear. I did
No, I know. Nothing's hard about it. Try nothing's hard.
So this could be really bad. Teachers don't realize right now here he like that's doing something educational. Okay. Hey, it's Monica. Kids are pretty sharp. This is very resourceful right now. You were originally, but you got off. Someone else. Okay, bye.
Once we do our done.
Okay.
Mr.
3, 2, 1.
Talking done.
Freeze. Chromebooks down. Okay. We're gonna talk about a couple of these. Okay. I'm gonna strategically pick. We're not gonna go over all of them. We're gonna go over some of them. Okay. One of them. Well, I'll ask you guys first. A, B, C, D, or E. Does anyone have one that they definitely want to go over because it was a little more confusing than maybe some of the other ones? Okay. Ava. Okay, we'll do that one last.
D2 special.
I want to do D first.
Why'd you ask if you're gonna do the one?
So I wanted to see if anyone was going to pick D as well.
C.
Okay. So, in D, they give you almost 3 equations, right? Which equation are you actually supposed to use to solve D? Okay, there's 3, they actually give you 3 equations. Which one do you use? Bella?
You use the last one that says P equals 3.
You do.
I got this from right at the end.
You will use the last one. Anyone know why they gave you the first 2 equations to begin with?
To mess you up. I have.
Not to mess you up.
Done it.
Why'd they give you those first 2 equations? Why'd they give you I equals 350 and okay? Not to trick you. They gave it to you. Well, I guess they would have had to give it to you. Why'd they give it to you? Does anyone know why? Why'd they give you these 2 equations here?
Income minus expense.
Ooh, because what? Profit equals what?
Income minus expense.
So, don't we have our income here? And this is our expense? Okay, very good. Okay. So, that's the equation you should have used. P equals 350. But instead of N, what's one of the numbers you're going to have to plug in for? Josie?
8.
8. So, we'll do 8 first. You literally plug it in. And
Yeah, why
yes,
do you
those
call it plug
tendencies
it in?
do matter.
Why do you say plug it in?
Because that's really what you're doing. You're taking it and plugging it in for the letter.
No, you're switching it.
Substituting, I guess you can technically call it.
Not plug it.
Now, oops, I need to make that 1,000. Now, what is 350 times 8? Yeah, I guess you should.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. if you don't know how this equation works, typing it into a calculator doesn't do you any good. Because if you forget the parentheses or something, a lot of you go, oh, my answer is right because I did it in a calculator. But if you didn't follow the equation correctly, it's not going to be right. Okay? So, Bella, you're completely correct. You should do this first. And inside the parentheses, I had some people adding the 8 and the 1,000 together first. Do you do the multiplying or adding?
So they could actually put parentheses inside the parentheses.
Multiplication, you do not need the parentheses inside the parentheses. Because multiplication always comes first anyways.
Then you
So what is 850 times 8?
add 850 times
150. My bad. What is 150 times 8? Actually, what is it? Get a calculator. Let's go. Hustle, hustle.
You don't need a calculator.
I got it.
No, because you should be able to do 8 and then just count your 50s up.
Yeah.
Or you just do half.
1,200. Okay?
I got 1,200.
Also known as 1,200 plus 1,000, which is
2,000. I mean, 20,200.
and we have to minus. Now we can do the 350 times 8,
Which is
Raymond Moore. You're up. Why are you trying to pretend like you're drawing in your book when you don't understand this? It's not good. Solve it. 350 times 8. Let's go. Those of you who did not get this should be writing this down. You will have to do this on the test next week.
are you gonna get the
And probably an equation more like this than those easy ones.
Easy once you get it. I got it.
Did you get calculators on the test?
I'm probably going to pick the number that's easy enough that you can multiply using multiplication tricks. 2,800 or 2,800.
Wait, we're gonna use calcs on the test?
Oh!
Okay? Last step is to do what then? That's an ugly P. Olivia, what's the last step? Which is also known as 600. So your answer for the first one should have been 600. Now,
But you didn't get that.
when you do 12, 20, and 30, what's the only thing that changes in your equation?
No.
Okay? Everything stays the same besides one thing, Riley. What's the one thing that changes when you do 12, 20, and 30 instead of the 8? Just well, I know the answer's going to change.
Number that you
Where's that number going to be used instead of? What number will change in that equation that we have up there right now? The 8. So the only thing that will change is that 8. That 8 will be then a 12, a 20, and then a 30. Is that the rate of change? Question. For this case, technically no. This case we actually have two rates of changes. So right here is a rate of change. This one's changing by 350 every time. And right here's another one. That one's changing by 150 every time. Okay? So there's actually two rate of changes on this problem. Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. So that's why I say you plug in or substitute. You literally take the numbers they give you and substitute them in for the variable, for the letter that it stands for, and solve. Okay? This should literally, if you did not get this done, I'd be a little worried. Okay? Because literally you plug this in and then solve. These problems.
You substituted.
Substitute in. These types of problems you've been solving since you walked in these doors. Okay? Multiplying, dividing, subtracting, easy peasy. Okay? I know some of you wanted to see E, which was this one.
No, it was actually kind of
If
hard.
you actually look at the equation,
If you 4.25, I did not know that was this.
Now, these again, no different than the other ones. Find your variable, plug it in. Solve.
Substituted.
Okay, substitute it in. Alright, here's your two equations. Okay, what is S? And yes, you have to actually read to figure it out. You can't, it's not just gonna tell you. And I like how Emily said, I heard at her table, actually read the problem. Don't just find the equation and try and solve it, right? Actually read the problem to see what's going on. Okay? So what is S, Mason, in the gray sweatshirt? 4.25. So we're gonna plug that in for S. So 6 times 4.25 exponent. First step in solving this one is to do what? Exponent. So you should do 4.25 times 4.25. Okay? Which is 17 something? I don't know, 18 something?
Yeah.
18 what?
Wait, 22.06.
18.06.
And you still have to multiply that by what? 6.
Okay. So then you get
And then you should have 108 point something again.
375.
375. Okay. The only thing that changes when you do volume now is instead of multiplying anything by 6 or anything, you're just doing 4.25 what? To the third power, or 4.25 times 4.25.
Okay.
Literally, that's it. Okay. Some of your homework tonight is going to be practicing what's kind of like this. You're going to be given an equation, have a table, it's going to be filled out. Tomorrow I'm going to give you a problem of the day where you're going to have more than one variable in there. So it might look something like this. Maybe S equals 8t plus 6m, or 8m minus 40. I don't know. And you're going to have to solve for it. Again, like Emily said, actually read the equation, figure out what letter is which, and plug in. Yeah, you cannot just look at the equation. That's not going to help you. It's not going to tell you what is what. You must actually read the equation. Okay, right, Josie?
Yep.
Actually got to read.
That was Maya's stuff.
Okay.
I was good the other
Any questions? Can't help you in life. That's your thing to figure out. You do have homework. You just post
It's
it.
really tricky. No,
The
it's
first
not.
one you have to make a table.
Yes.
Second one you got to graph that table.
Yes. You have to do all that stuff.
And you should know if it goes up by steady rate or not.
It probably does.
See you later.